Okay, and now let's bring up Doc Grun. Doc, come on up here.
Yay, Doc.
Okay, we're through with that. Okay, before we get started, as everybody heard, I work in DC, and did you hear? We did actually have a power outage. It basically shut the whole city down today. Okay.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That's right.
That?
Yeah.
Lauren,
Great
the
relief.
politicians were actually in the dark for a good reason this time. Okay. Widespread outages hit across D.C., affecting government and some privately owned buildings and the city's public transit rail system. Power outage affects about 2,000 customers in the Washington area. It was caused by a small explosion and a fire at a power substation in southern Maryland. Updates from Awakening, and then I've got some new material here. The book was almost ready to go, and then I had a moment of euphoria, and we're doing a prologue now, which sets the stage out for the prequel that's coming out next year. This is going to probably going to take the book over 100,000 words, which is a lot of bullshit for anyone in one sitting. Let me tell you. And we're about ready to launch our Indiegogo crowdfunding project to get the base money to make the animated movie. And here's how it works, of course, with any crowdfunding. For a little donation, you get the movie. A little more donation, you get the book and the movie. A little more donation, you get a part in the movie. And up to the top level where you get a room in my house for the summer. So stay tuned on that. Okay, now, I got to tell you, the store that I work at is brand new, palatial, state-of-the-art luxury car dealer, okay? It covers 3 zip codes. It's so damn big. Trust me, I walk it every day. But working there, you see things that the customers don't see, okay? Like, for example, it's so big, we have 3 floors, okay? We have an elevator to go from the top floor, well, the middle floor, ground floor, where we are, to the bottom, okay? Well, about a month ago, it started dropping the last foot or so to the ground floor. Hell of a ride, okay? Trust me, I was in it. And the sight of the door opening up with Doc on his knees just made me happy there was no other man in the car at the same time. I want to tell you, okay? So, they decided they're going to put an out-of-order sign on it, and I started taking the stairs. 50 times a fucking day. High point of my work day, let me tell you. Well, anyways, I went over the other day. The out-of-order sign is off the door. That's great. They finally fixed it. So I took it to the ground floor. Seemed okay. When I came back to go back up, the out-of-order sign is still on the bottom door. Okay, so I'm playing it safe. I'm playing it safe. I only use it to go down. I don't use it to go back up. I'm playing it safe. And folks, I have to tell you, we talk about age and getting older. I have to tell you, my Roomba's getting up there in age. It may almost be time to put it out to pasture.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know it's sad. It tries to hide it from me, but I hear the wheel squeaking when it runs. I see the red light when it comes on, when it has to shift up or down a level on the floor. And the other night it picked up a large hairball, and I can swear I heard it coughing. And my wife says it rolled over to her the other night and said, "Rub Roomba's feet. Rub Roomba's feet." It's really sad. I may have to take it out behind the woodshed soon. It used to be every night at 6 p.m. sharp. We used to start up, and it would be off and running. The other night,
That's the sound. I can't believe it.
The other night, I'm sitting there at 6 o'clock, and I hear, it's like an old Chevy with a bad starter. Reverse. Stalls the first 2 or 3 times, then it guns it and lays tire marks on the floor. And, there's no running off to AutoZone for Roomba rebuild starters. I got to tell you. No, you have to do a complete transplant. You got to do all the guts, all the brains. It just won't be the same unit afterwards. Wait a minute. It might actually fucking start listening to me. This could be a good thing, folks. Okay. Stay tuned for that. Okay, all right. A little bit of education for you tonight. We're talking about, Roger got me, he was talking about porno, and I understand that there's porno in Second Life. I just discovered this.
No.
What? No!
That's just terrible.
Research of a recent study show that there are 7 kinds of sex, okay? First kind of sex is called Smurf sex, okay? This kind of sex happens when you first meet someone and you both have sex till you're blue in the face, okay?
Okay.
Second kind is called kitchen sex. This is where you've been with your partner for a short time and you're so needy you'll have sex anywhere, even in the kitchen, right? Third kind is called bedroom sex. You've been together for a long time, your sex has gotten routine. You usually only have it in the bedroom, okay. Fourth kind is called hallway sex. This is where you've been with your partner for too long. When you pass each other in a hallway, you both say, "Fuck you!" Fifth kind is called religious sex, which means you get none in the morning, none in the afternoon, and none at night. Sixth kind is called courtroom sex. This is where you can't stand your wife anymore. She takes you to court and fucks you in front of everyone. Last but not least, the 7th kind of sex is called social security sex. You get a little each month, but not enough to live on, okay? Don't tell me what stage you're in. I got my problems. I don't need yours too, okay? Now, speaking of sex, did you hear about the woman who was married to a succession of 3 Linden Lab employees and still died a virgin?
Okay.
Her first husband was in training. He kept teaching her how to do it herself. Her second husband was in research and development, and he kept telling her how good it was going to be. And the third was in tech support, and he kept saying, "Don't worry, it'll be up any minute now." There were 3 women who were friends in high school when they returned to their hometown to attend their 45th reunion, have lunch together. They were taking turns talking their positions in life, and they were trying to, one-up each other. First woman says, "My husband's taking me to the French Riviera for 2 weeks." The second one says, "Well, my husband just bought me a new Mercedes." The third one says, "Well, to be perfectly honest, we don't have much money and we don't have any material possessions, but 13 canaries can stand shoulder to shoulder on my husband's erect penis." Wow. After a long silence, the first woman looks shamefaced and says, "Girls, I got a confession. I was just trying to impress you. We're not going to the French Riviera. We're going to my parents' house for 2 weeks." Second woman says, "You honestly shame me too. To be honest, my husband didn't buy me a Mercedes. He bought me a Taurus." The third woman says, "I have a confession to make also. Canary 13 has to stand on one leg. I'm so embarrassed." And now, because I didn't have anything an hour ago, and Lauren says, "Can you do some stuff?" I said no. He says, "Okay, what time will you be there?" Now, courtesy of the late night talk show host, is this week's political edition of the Lightning Round. President Obama has reduced the sentences of 22 federal prisoners who were arrested for drug-related crimes, 8 of whom were serving life sentences. This marks the first time someone has said, "Thanks, Obama," but really meant it. Rand Paul is taking a week-long break from talking to the media to spend time with his family after he's announced he's running for president. Because there's nothing that motivates you to be on the road for 2 years in a row like a week alone with your family. Are going to Kenya. Donald Trump said, "While you're there, pick up your birth certificate." In Indiana, state legislators played a hilarious April Fool's prank on gays and lesbians. They convinced them they passed a law that let businesses discriminate against them. Think about that one, folks. You heard all about that Indiana religious freedom? Some people think it's anti-gay. Well, presidential hopefuls Jeb Bush, Ted Cruz, Scott Walker, and a couple of others have all come out in favor of the new law. Well, I guess they shouldn't say come out. What do you think, right? President Obama will attend a summit in Kenya this year. When asked if he's ever been to Kenya, he said, "Of course, I was bored. There's nothing to do in Kenya." According to a new study, the marijuana in Colorado is almost twice as strong as it was 20 years ago. Of course, people had some questions for the scientists. First, like, "How could I get your job, man?" According to a new poll, Republicans are more likely to have a donut for breakfast, while Democrats prefer to eat bagels and croissants. While independents are that annoying friend who's still looking at the menu after 15 fucking minutes. As of this time, the only state that President Obama has not visited while in office is South Dakota. residents of South Dakota said they're looking forward to President Obama or any black person visiting very soon.
Okay, yay.
Thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy the
Bravo! Bravo! Fantastic.
Hey, great work.